Yo, midweek, it is good to see you. It's our first midweek online ever. I know it's way more fun in person. We miss you, but it's crazy out there. Y'all, have you been out? You don't have school tomorrow. CMC got canceled, and so thank you for tuning in with us. I want to encourage you to go to YouTube, sign in, and then you're able to chat. You're able to talk with us the whole time. That's how we do it. I actually am going to give away a free Impossible shot if you are logged in, but you have to wait. And so get sure, I'm going to give you some seconds, log in. What we want to do here real quick is just say thank you for coming in. My name is Kyle. If I've never met you, you can go get your mom, you can go get your dad, you can go get your sister. If you have a little 5th grade sister or brother that's like, I always want to go to midweek, man, right now they can come and they can see what it's like. It's going to be a little bit different tonight, but that is okay. I have some good news for you. We are going to be giving away AirPod Pros on Valentine's Day. And so if you hang around until the end, we are going to tell you what to type into the chat, what to text, what to tell your mom to text, and so that everything that you do is going to add up. It's going to give you more chances to win these AirPod Pros because we're in this series called Your New Playlist. And so I think you have enough time to log in. Okay, here's what we're going to do. If you've never heard of the Impossible shot, it is this bow and arrow, basically. And what we do is we shoot it across the room, and if you make it through this little hole, then we will give you $100. No lie. There's no shot of us lying. We've had some people be close before, but no one has ever done it. Usually you got to bring a friend to do it. But right now, if you log in, you chat, first person to type Impossible shot, you will win. Ready, set, go. Boom. Okay. All right. I hope someone did it. We got people. We got Maddie. We got our leaders online checking that out, recording it. But what we're going to do right now is have some fun. We're going to get ready for camp. We're going to practice being the best there ever is to show up to camp. And so we have this Squishmallow. It's a Harry Potter version, and we're going to play a game. But we're going to have 2 leaders in the house that we are going to welcome on stage. First, representing our high schoolers, will you guys put your hands together for Hadley Neggs? Yes, okay, high schoolers, rep it out. So I'm wearing high school too, but I got middle school on the hat. But representing our middle schoolers, we got Maximo Santiago. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do with some background music up in here. We got a towel up in here, and so that's going to be part of this real quick. But we are going to play this game called Real or Fake. You can participate with that at your home, but it's going to be about dad texts. So go get your dad real quick. Hey, shh. Go get your dad real quick and see if he sent these texts before. What we're going to do is I'm going to read this text, then I'm going to slap my hand down. The first person to grab the Squishmallow gets a chance to answer. If they get it right, then they are the ones who get these cups up here, and they get to either throw it, spit it, hock a loogie on the other, not a hock a loogie, sorry. Hadley wants to hock a loogie, okay? And it's going to be 5 questions, okay? I'm going to tell you if we make it to the 5th round, that is not the same as what's in the other cups, and I don't know if they are ready. And so, all right, now they're talking all this crap back and forth. Type in the chat who you want to win. Is it Hadley for the girls or the high schoolers? They're ready to fight. This might be a thing. Is it Maximo Santiago? Let's go. Okay. Hope your dad's ready. Hope your dad's around because that's where you can cheat. We're going to throw this one up here. Number 1 is, I'll call you later. Don't call me later. Call me dad. All right. Oh, dang. All right. Hadley with the Squishmallow is the first. Is that real or fake?
Fake.
Fake. Do you think it's real or fake? It is fake. Oh my gosh, come on, let's go. All right, so Hadley is the number 1 winner. She gets whatever is in here. Okay, make sure you see this. Okay. Oh my gosh. I think we need to get rid of this beanie. That is cheating. That is cheating. Okay, round number 2. Here we go. Max is kind of dry. Round number 2. Dad, there's a moth outside of the bathroom. Can you get rid of it? Please hurry because I'm going to cry. Dad. Dad is dead. You're next. Love moth. Dang, that was a little bit cheater, but he's a middle schooler, so we'll give it to him, okay? Is this real or fake? True. Real. He's right. Oh, my gosh. All right. Hadley's going to break up with me after this. Let's see. He missed and he spit. Yikes. That is disgusting. All right. 1-1 over here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Round number 3. Dad, can I go to Sean's party? Is Sean going to be there? Everyone is going to be there. That can't be right, huh? Everyone can't be there because you definitely are not going to be there. Oh my gosh. Max is starting to cheat. You're going to have to start throwing elbows here. So Max got the squishmallow. You got a trick. She. All right. Real or fake? Is Sean going to be there?
Chat, it's fake. It's fake.
Chat, is he right? Fake. Come on. Oh my gosh. Let's go.
I'm in this.
All right. Wait, are we 1-2? All right. Here you go. Let's see. Can she? Oh, again with that. Gosh, that was brutal. Yikes. Oh, we're going to play this game next week when you guys are back. All right. We have at least one more here. Hadley's got to win to make it keep going. If not, then Max gets the golden cup. Here we go. Oh, I should move this right now. Okay. All right, they're about to fight. We'll get this. We got this. Punching in the face. All right, here we go. All right, number 4. Here we go. What is it? In a meeting. Dad, are you in a meeting? No, why? Is this? There was some violence. She didn't even care about that. All right, well, now it's up to you. If you get this right, keeps going. If you get it wrong, then Max got a lot going. High schoolers, is it real or fake? There's pressure going on here. Real or fake?
Why'd you put it so far away? Real.
Oh, it is real. Oh, my gosh, we're going to overtime here. Oh, Max ain't going to be able to see for a week. Let's go. Okay, I was hoping this would happen. This is where it all comes down to. We got one more. So far, it's been whoever is going to get it wins. No, okay, all right, okay. Stop. Both of you, look at me. Look at the camera. Hands up. Look at the camera. Come on, everyone. Yes, okay, here we go. All right. Last round number 5. Okay, here it goes. Don't go until you hear the slap. I'm hungry. Hi, Hungry. Nice to meet you. I'm Dad. Dad, I'm serious. I thought your name was Hungry. Are you kidding me? No, I'm Dad. Is that real or is that fake? I feel like, I don't know.
I want to let Max answer first.
Oh, my gosh. You're deferring? What? You're deferring? Oh my gosh, she's scared. High schooler, she's scared. All right, you want to take it? All right, he's got some confidence. All right, take the squishmallow. This is in your hands.
Oh, okay, it's fake, bro. It's fake.
Is it fake? Is it? It's true. All right. Yeah. Max couldn't see straight, bro. He should have taken his glasses off. This one is an egg. All right. Zoom in on this. Oh my gosh, this actually about to happen. Oh my gosh, he's talking crap about my crooked nose. All right. Oh, she cracked it a little bit earlier. Oh my gosh. All right. Come on, count us down with us. Make sure your dad is watching. Cover your nose. Get in the light. Yeah, we want to see this. 3, 2, go. Oh my gosh, that got on me. Oh my gosh, Max, tell him we're ready for camp. All right, we're ready for camp. Check out this video.
Well, hey, one of our favorite things here at Midweek is camp, summer camp. And this summer, we are taking our high schoolers to Glorieta, New Mexico. We're taking our middle schoolers to Estes Park, Colorado. Man, camp is the best. And right now is the best time to sign up for camp. It's $75 to secure an early bird spot right now in January. And once February hits, the prices for camp goes up. So right now is the perfect time. And if I'm you, I'm sitting at home, I'm with the parents. And so I would go up to mom and dad and say, hey mom, hey dad, give me some money for camp, $75, baby. And then your spot is locked in for this summer, and it's gonna be awesome. You can look in the chat right now. We're gonna put a link in there, and that link will take you directly to the sign up where you can sign up for camp this summer. And I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be so life-changing. So make sure you do that tonight. Don't waste another day. And man, speaking of life-changing, this past weekend we had several midweekers get baptized. And so what that means is they've taken a step to believe and follow in Jesus. And this past weekend, they took another step, and they were like, man, I want to tell everyone about it. I want to tell my friends. I want to tell my family. I want to tell my classmates and everyone I know about the decision I've made to follow Jesus. And so, hey, those of you midweekers that made that decision to get baptized, we are celebrating with you. Man, that is awesome that you got baptized. So, hey, we're going to go to week 2 of this new playlist.
I don't understand. I'm not good enough.
Why don't I love myself
Why
more?
can't I get these things right? Time and time again, I just fail.
I'm
and
so
I fail.
exhausted. It's really
I'm
overwhelming.
nobody
People don't notice me,
on my side.
and I don't make a
I
difference.
don't feel worthy.
I'm just not gonna amount to anything.
I actually have a lot to offer.
People care about me, and they want me around.
I am a good friend.
I'm not alone.
God chooses me
I'm
daily.
compassionate and caring.
I'm a child of God.
Well, hey, y'all, it is good to see you online. Like Bailey just said, we are in week 2 of your new playlist. And because of this, we thought it would be cool to give away these AirPods. And so stick around. They're AirPod Pros, not Generation 1, not Generation 2, number 3. They're the legit ones. And so the more you hang around, at the end, we'll tell you how to actually get in the running to win those. And so we are talking about the power of a mindset, and that's what we're talking about with your playlist. Last week, we talked about how sometimes you have these good thoughts, and it seems like it's just a great party going on in your head, and maybe you got a song going on, and it's just like this, and it feels pretty good, and it's just everyone's jamming. But then all of a sudden, there comes this thought, and it's uninvited, and it breaks through the wall. Boom! And it sounds like this. And then it's like, what the heck? It's like headbanging. It's, you are not invited into my head. And now it turns into this thought that I am just overthinking on this one thought, and it plays over and over and over on my head. And so we were like, okay, so what do we do when that thought breaks down and it makes you start headbanging, even though when you don't want to start headbanging? Well, we figured out these two things. We said, hey, you can ask Jesus to carry this thought with you. He will actually take this thought that you're overthinking, whatever it is, and he will carry it with you. And then what do we do next? Well, we said, you are in control. You create your own playlist, and so you can replace this one with a better one. You can replace that playlist with a better playlist. And that's where we're going to keep going on tonight. We're going to think about the thoughts that you're thinking and what's going on in your head. And so I know for me, this happens to me all the time. I will get a song stuck in my head over and over and over again. I'm sure you guys have too, but there's this thing back in the day, your mom probably, maybe your grandparents used to listen to something called a record player. It's back in the day when you had phones that were connected to a cord and you had to actually press buttons, and then you listen to music on something that's like this. It's a record player right here. It's a big circle, and you actually had to put it down, and then you would put this little needle on it, and it would spin, and it would start playing music. That's how they listened to it. But the only problem with that is that it had to be perfect, had to be clean, it had to be great. If there was one little scratch on it, then it would just start playing that same section of the song. So instead of, let's say that's Miley Cyrus, instead of put my hands up, playing my song, the butterfly fly away. No, it wouldn't do that. It would just be like this. It would be like, put my hands up, I put my hands up, I put my hands up. Yeah, and you thought you hated that song before. But if there was a scratch like that, it would just play over and over and over, that same little section. And that's what I think can happen with our thoughts. We have this giant record, and it's all good. But with one little scratch or with one little negative thought, we can have this repeating thought in our head. And guess what? Those negative thoughts are stuck on repeat like a broken record in our minds. And it just keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. And I remember I've done this before. I've told you about high school Kyle before. High school Kyle was this dude who thought he was so cool, had his ear pierced, diamonds, you know. I was like, man, I'm the man. I'm out here. I'm in Smoky Hill. Tons of dudes, tons of friends, right? But yeah, I'll actually show you. I'm sorry if you don't want to see this, but here's what high school Kyle actually looked like. Yeah, I thought he had all the girls over here. Look at those ear pierced, man. Hat backwards to the side, man. I was like, I'm looking cool, baby. Yeah, you like that? And so I remember feeling like that. But my junior year of high school, I remember something happening where the record skipped. And so I'll fill you in about that. I have a cousin, and his name is also Kyle. And he's about a month younger than me. And so we call him Cousin Kyle, but we also call him Kyle number 2. Why? Because I'm older and I'm Kyle number 1, right? And so I remember we were hanging out with each other a lot, freshman, sophomore year, but then junior year came, we started hanging out with other people. And I remember one of his birthday events were coming around. He had 4 tickets to the Nuggets game. I was like, let's go. I'm in for sure. I heard that he had this going on. And at the end of the day, I didn't get invited. And I'm like, yo, you're Cousin Kyle. Like, I'm Kyle number 1. Like, I'm dealing with a lot of FOMO right now. I've been dealing with FOMO my whole life, fear of missing out, and I missed out. And I honestly couldn't believe it. I was just like, what is going on? And that thought just kept on scratching over and over and over in my head. And here's what I know can happen for all of us is that these negative thoughts can be a habitual, maybe a habit is where I want to say, part of our mental playlist without us even realizing it. What do I mean? Is that one thought can come into our head, play over and over and over, and we will just listen to it without it really even registering that we are playing this negative thought over and over and over again. And I'm not saying don't have negative thoughts. I know that we've all felt insecure. I know that we've all felt left out. We felt unnoticed. We felt unimportant. We felt maybe it's this. Maybe we've just felt unloved. We all battle stuff that makes us feel like we are just not enough. And your playlist gets stuck on these thoughts. And so maybe they are thoughts like this, like the Taylor Swift album. Maybe it's coming up for you and it says, I am not talented enough. You're like, no, I want to figure out some other thoughts. But then your next one is, I'm not popular enough. And that record keeps scratching. Maybe it's not that one, but it's maybe it's this one and it says, I am not smart enough. Man, I got a D on that test. I will never measure up. I'm not as smart as my sister. How about this one? I'm not good looking enough. I can't get the girl or the guy that I want. And I can't do anything about that. Or maybe it's this one. I try everything, but I'm just not happy enough. I don't know how to fix that. And if it's not one of those, maybe it is this record that we talk about. You feel like Jack Skellington, just a skeleton, and it just says, I'm not enough. And this keeps scratching over in your head, and you keep thinking, I'm not enough, I am not enough, I am not enough. And I think that everyone on this planet has had one of these thoughts. So if you have, don't feel alone. But we all have this want to feel like enough. Why? Because there's a lot of promises on enough. If I'm just smart enough, if I just score that goal, man, my life will get better. There's got to be good results on the other side of being enough. And surely things got to get better in my life, right? If I'm just enough, things will get better. And I want to talk to you guys about that mindset tonight. I think there's got to be a better way. And I think that we can change our approach on that. Because if we think about it that way, there's no such thing as enough. Well, we're going to switch our mindset, and we're going to look to someone who's super smart about this kind of stuff. His name is Jesus, and he walked around this earth about 2,000 years ago. Had a lot of people follow him, and they had a lot of people record what he had to say. And he would a lot of times have a bunch of people come and listen to what he wanted to say because he was so smart. And so one time, what he would often do is as he's teaching people, he would look around and he would be like, let's look at that thing that's right there and let's talk about it. So a lot of times, what do you look up and see? You look up and you see birds. And so that's what he's talking about a lot. He's looking at birds. Are you a bird fan? Man, if you're a bird fan, put it in the chat. If you're not a bird fan, put that in the chat because I'm glad you're not here. I hate birds. And so if you're a bird fan, I'm sorry. Birds are probably the worst animal. I would probably rather have a snake than a bird. And so I just gotta digest this and tell you guys about my bird fear. This one time, a couple years ago, hang with me because this comes back to birds. I was snowboarding. I was going down Rolex. I went over a blind hump, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, Kyle's earrings are back in. Kyle number 1, let's go. And go over this blind hump, and then boom, it just turns into moguls. And I'm riding it out. I'm like, oh crap. I'm still good. And I make it to the bottom, right where it comes to Elkhead and Sundown. And there's a up and down little divot. It's not filled in with snow yet. What do? Bam! I just hit that thing. I start flying. My goggles come off of my head. My head comes and hits my board. And I got like big scratch here, but I am knocked out. I am done. I am tongue out. I'm just out, right? I'm done. And what I remember waking up to is my friend bringing me over my goggles and ski patrol being there, and they're already there. That's what I woke up to. And they're asking me, do you know where you're at? Do you know your name? And I'm like, my head hurts so bad right now. I know that I'm in Steamboat Springs, and I know Kyle number 1. And I'm just mad, right? But what happens is I get 12 stitches in my face right here, black eye, maybe broke my nose before then too. This is what I looked like. Yeah, eye lacerations. It's not even that bad. A couple days later, it was way more black and blue. And so that all sets up this bird story. And so looking like that, and then I'm going over to one of these ladies' churches, one of these ladies' houses from church for dinner. And she's got a middle schooler and she's got a high schooler. So they're showing us around the house. Hadley and I are over there. We're having dinner. And they're like, yeah, come downstairs, check it out. They got a pool table. I'm like, this is sick. Let's go. And then they're like, yeah, check out our birds. They're so cute. And I'm like, what? Are they though? And they're like, yeah, look. And I'm like, you're not going to open that, are you? And they're like, why not? And right then, I'm in the middle of the room, and this birds start coming out. One flies behind me, one's coming right at me, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? I got my dukes up, I'm ready to fight, and I'm like, actually, no, that's not what happened. I actually was like, ah! And I ran upstairs. I was like the biggest little girl in the room. I tell you all of that to say that I hate birds. And Jesus is going to talk a lot about birds coming up here, and he's going to elevate how we think about birds and how we think about ourselves. A lot of times when Jesus was talking to people, he wanted to show who God was rather than what people thought God was. See, a lot of people back then, they thought God was ready to just smash the bird, smash all of us, angry. And Jesus came to say, that's not how he really is. Let me show you how God is. And so he's looking around and he says, hey, this guy, this is how I imagine it. There's this big old crowd and some dude walks up. And I imagine that he's a little bit smelly. He's a little bit gross. And so let's call him Smelly Steve. He's one of those dudes you would walk by on the street and be like, yikes, bro, you need some help, but like I got to keep walking. And so he comes up, he's holding this pet canary, this pet bird, and he sits down and everyone's kind of like, yo, like you're just messing things up right now. Like you smell, why don't you just like get out of here? But Jesus sees the bird, and this is what I think he says. He says, hey, what is the price of a pet canary? That's a bird. Some loose change, right? And God cares what happens to it even more than you do. He pays even greater attention to you, down to the last detail, even numbering the hairs on your head. So don't be intimidated by all this bully talk. You're worth more than 1,000,000 canaries. He's looking over there and he's like, you know what? I know back in that day, these canaries, they weren't worth a lot. Just some loose change. Little kid could go and get one of these things. But he's looking over there and he's saying, hey, God cares about that bird. And he cares about Smelly Steve, who brought that bird. He's saying, God is a God that cares about the bird, but guess what? He cares way more about the person, and he cares way more about you. You are worth more than 1,000,000 canaries. And if God cares about, like, so much about this little bird, how much more do you think he cares about you? That's what Jesus is saying to everyone, and he's saying to you right now. And he's not done talking about birds. In another gospel, there's this guy, Dr. Luke. He was a doctor. He's very factual. So he writes down this about what Jesus said. He said, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? Yet not one of them is forgotten by God. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows." Keeps on going, and in a few sentences later, he gets to his point. Luke continues to write down, he said, "Consider the ravens," third bird he's on. "They do not sow or reap. They do not plant or harvest. They do not store up. They do not have a storeroom or a barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable are you than birds?" God is saying, man, Jesus is saying, look at all of these birds. I want to show you who God is, right? Look around. They don't plant. They don't go get food. But God cares about these little things. He knows what these birds need. He knows where they should go in a crazy snowstorm. He knows how they need to be fed. And so Jesus is saying, if he knows how to do that for a bird, do you not think he will do that for you? God cares about all those little things. He cares about the little things going on in your life. He knows about them, and he cares about them. And he's saying, you are so much more valuable. You have so much more worth than a raven, than a canary, and then any other bird that flies in the sky. See, God loves you, and you have so much worth and value in God's eyes. Here's how we might put it in terms of what we were talking about. God is saying, you are enough. Just the way you are. You don't have to go get the straight A's. You don't have to score the soccer goal. You don't have to be enough by your parents. You don't have to land the backflip on skis. Even though all that stuff is great, that's awesome. But if you don't do it, and even if you do it, God is saying, you are enough. Just the way that you are. And it is really great to hear that God says you are enough. But it's really easy to say that, right? It's really easy for me to say that to you, but if we're being honest, it doesn't always feel like that. It doesn't always feel like I am enough in God's eyes. We probably all admit that. And when that happens, this is what I want us to do. This is the time that we need to remember to make the choice to remember to change our minds and shift the thoughts that make up the playlist. What do I mean by that? Here's 2 thoughts I want to give you, okay? Number 1 is we have to start by noticing when the record is broken. We have to realize when it's scratching and it's saying, waka, 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 you are not enough. See, once we realize that, then we can do something about it. Well, what would we do about it? Well, I think we can replace this record with a new one. We can go over here and we can trade in that and we can rip this off and we can say, I'm going to get this new record and it's saying everything that God says about me. We're going to figure out what that is real quick. But you can ask Jesus to carry that thing with you. And then you can replace that thought with a new one. You can replace that record, you can replace that scratchy thought with a brand new one and with a better one. We are in control of our own playlist, and it's not that easy to do. But here's something that I've done before is when I realize that there's a scratching thought, scratching record in my head, I try to replace it with something new, with something better, with something that God says. And so this verse comes to mind when I'm talking about replacing it. This is from Psalms, and Psalms is a collection of songs about people who sang them to God. And the author wrote down this, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Man, that's not something that's naturally in me. Usually it's saying you are not enough, scratching. But when I put on God's record of what I am and I realize whose I am, then it changes my whole playlist. See, I think if we can do some things to put the right things in, the right things will come out. This is what I do know. What you put in, what you listen to, will eventually come out in form of better thoughts, in form of how we act, in form of how we treat each other. You are in control of your own playlist and what you put in and what comes out. I think God really wants you to believe that tonight, that you are enough. Even if you're not cool, even if you haven't believed in God yet, I'm sure you've had some of these negative thoughts, and you can still replace them with better thoughts. You can replace them with things that you put in, and they will eventually come out in a better way, and your life will be better. And so as we kind of close this down, we're going to end this with a thought, with a question. And this one question is what is one way I can remember that God says I am enough? Or if you don't believe in God, what is one way I can remember that I am enough? I have a couple thoughts for you. You might want to brainstorm this with your mom, your dad, your friends, texting people right now. But here's a couple thoughts. You could write it down. You could put it on your mirror. You could talk about it with your friends. You could put it on the background of your phone, right? Something that you see a lot. Here's another thing. You could memorize a verse like the one that I just put down, and that might be able to put a new playlist in your mind, and what you put in will come out. So I want you to think about that. You are enough. And we want you to have the right playlist, and I know it's hard, but that's why we want you to come back. That's why we're going to give away these new AirPod Pros so that you can have a good playlist. If you're on the chat right now, if you're still listening, if you type in the chat, I am enough, then we're going to give you double the amount of tickets, 2 tickets to show up and win these AirPod Pros. So if you're on there, type right now, I am enough. If you can't figure out how to chat it, that's fine. I'm going to throw my number up on the screen. You got to text me. You got to say, this is Jimmy and your last name, and say, I am enough. I'm also going to give you a bonus right now if you are listening. If your parent texts me, they text me right now. They say, my child is Jimmy Johnson. I'm Billy Johnson. My kid watched midweek tonight. That's it. Then we will add another 2 tickets for you to be able to win this. And if you come back next week, if you bring a friend, this whole next month, we are going to give you guys opportunities to just get as many tickets in to win these AirPod Pros that are legit and they are fun. Why? Because what you put in on these AirPod Pros will come out, and what we want you to hear and what you're going to hear from us is I am enough. You are enough. Believe that. We believe that for you, and God believes that for you too. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. We cannot wait to see you in person next week. Have fun not having school tomorrow. We love you.